Friends, did you know that over 60% of your first-time clients are never coming back to your business again? They are going to your competition. That is so painful, and it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Maya comes in. Maya is the ultimate marketing software for the beauty and wellness industry. We have a proprietary funnel utilizing special algorithms to help connect the right consumers with the right providers at your business. So what does this mean? This means Maya helps you get higher spending clients you love to work with who stay the long haul. If you want to increase your revenue, increase your client count, increase your average ticket, and increase your new client retention, then you need Maya. Go to the link in our show notes to get your demo of Maya set up. Or go to joinmaya, that's MYA.com, joinmaya.com, and see why over 500,000 consumers have trusted Maya and the businesses that we work with to find their perfect beauty and wellness pro. We have your back, we always will, and we promise you will love Maya. Thank you for joining me. This is Katie Whitledge with the Beyond the Technique podcast. Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. We're still in the month of January, and I'm bringing you things to help you really achieve your best health, physical life, mental health, emotional health, all of the things. Because most people by now, if they actually set a New Year's resolution, over 70% of them have failed already. It might be higher than that. So I'm bringing you the very best in the industry. Last week, we had my hormone specialist on, and this week we are bringing my personal trainer. He is a PT strength coach. I have Dr. John Rusin here. He's a physical therapist, personal trainer, and injury prevention specialist who has been named one of the top 50 fitness experts in the world by Men's Health magazine. Now, let me just say, if you are listening today, you might want to tap that link to watch today's episode on our YouTube channel so you can see the faces behind the names. Now, you can't really tell because we're in Wisconsin. We have to dress warmer, but he is ripped and I like it. Okay. So let me just say, John has been coaching clients from all walks of life for the last 18 years, developing a niche focus in preventative health, performance, and longevity through his innovative training, nutrition, and lifestyle coaching. I want you to know that he can train anybody, anywhere, any time zone, any country, and he has. He has been a trainer for NBA players, NFL, MLB, and the list goes on, Olympians, and so on and so forth. So you have the best of the best here today to learn from. So without further ado, help me welcome Dr. John Rusin. Welcome to Beyond the Technique.
Katie, it is my pleasure. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so thank you for the invitation.
I am so happy that you said that because to me, you're the star. And I just am so always grateful for you. The life that I have now would never be fully possible without you. You have changed my physique in a way that I never actually thought was possible. So anyway, I won't talk just about my own journey. I want to talk about you. Let's go back to the beginning. What actually got you into physical therapy or this modality? Were you an athlete? Tell us where this started for you.
I was born into it. I am the son of Dr. and Dr. Rusin. My dad was an athletic director in the Buffalo, New York school district, Williamsville Central Schools. And he had me out at the courts, in the weight room, on the fields since the time I could walk. And I can't remember a day or a time that I wasn't playing sports. And then the other doctor is my mom, Dr. Mary Lou Rusin. She is a professor at Damon College, which I actually did my doctorate at, and she is in health and human services, specializing in nursing, and ran programs all the way up into a doctorate of nurse practitioning. And I always say that I was born into it because I had academics on my side of my family, I had athletics on my side of my family, and I took baseball to a Division 1 level, and really thrived just being an athlete, but just loved training a little bit more towards the end of my career than I actually loved the sport, and ended up at the right place at the right time at University of Buffalo as a strength and conditioning coach, back into graduate school, and I never looked back from there on out. I went through doctorate of physical therapy, ended up working with personal training clients, physical therapy clients, everyone in between over the last 18 years at this point. But yeah, that's where it started.
That is so interesting. I never knew that you and like your kind of niche sport was baseball. What position did you play?
I played center field, so I was more of like a speed and power guy. And funny fact, I am now coaching my son who is playing outfield now at 9 years old. And it's almost like reliving my own childhood through his eyes again. It's a beautiful thing because my dad was always my coach. My mom was always my supporter. And we're trying to embody that same type of feeling for Cam, my son now.
Oh, I love that. Well, okay, you really have a niche here. And I'm going to just shine a light on it because you actually train trainers globally. You have a very special certification process that is sought after by look it. If you're listening and you work with a personal trainer, they probably know Dr. John. So tell us a bit about your training program.
Well, in 2016, I got approached to do education for one of the biggest gym chains in the entire world, Equinox. And at that point, I was like, yeah, I have a little bit to say. And I was able to go out and do some education over a 2 year period. It turned into their best selling course they ever had. And then 3 years, we had the certification course that is now the biggest certification course privately owned in the world today, and also the fastest growing post COVID in 2020. We are at 19,000 certified coaches worldwide, and we've been on 6 different continents. And this is all live and in person coaching and training for our physical therapists, personal trainers, strength coaches, and we have a number of physicians that go through the program as well. But it's essentially the program and the system that I run for all of my clients, where I can teach other coaches and fitness and health professionals how to run the system at a high level for health performance and longevity goals.
I know you have strong opinions. And and one of them is, this is a very saturated market and so is the beauty wellness industry. And we have platforms like TikTok and Instagram where there are hair pros trying to teach technique and therefore young new hairstylists aren't really paying for advanced education. They're just watching videos or even consumers and thinking that they know what's up, but that doesn't necessarily lead to quality. What are some of the ways that consumers and everybody here listening can identify real, true information versus the bullshit?
Well, Instagram is not education. I don't care if it's in health and beauty or if it's in health and wellness in my space. You're looking at an expertise. And I always like to say that there's a couple key factors in bullshit detecting because social media is in our face 24/7 today. To say that it's not a thing is just incorrect. The first one, do you have some sort of certification or education behind what you're doing? Second one, do you have real world people that actually benefited from your services and are willing to talk about it? Third one, are you practicing what you're preaching? Are you living what you are selling? And then the fourth one, have you created culture and community over a long term basis? We're not talking weeks and months here. We're talking years, if not decades, of being an expert in the field that brings all three of those other elements to the real time to see that you are above and beyond a lot of the fray in the industries.
Well, I know that you are somebody that we can listen to. By the way, for everybody listening, I want you to go and follow Dr. John on Instagram because before I even hired him, I was learning really incredible techniques, forms, just listening and watching. Now it's a completely different situation when you actually work with him, and we'll get to that. But go and follow him, and I promise you it will be different than all the others that you might have been previously following or are following already. Okay, so let's dive in to the ultimate anti-aging formula. What is kind of the biggest mistake that we're making as we are aging that we're either ignoring or not prioritizing?
Aging is an active process if you want to be able to maintain your form and function for the rest of your life. And it's not something that age getting older is inevitable, that we get weaker, we get fatter, we get more out of shape, we're in pain, we're unable to do the things with our life that we once were. So it's an active process, but we need to be active participants in the process and go at this with a proactive based response of what we're doing in the gym, what we're doing with our lifestyle, and of course, what we're doing in terms of our nutrition quality. That is the trifecta of health and longevity right there.
Okay, I like it. And I feel like, and I don't know if this is a Midwest thing or if this is an anywhere, everywhere thing, you kind of accept that, oh, we're cheeseheads. So we have more of a sedentary, let's watch football in the winters, let's eat food, let's drink beer. Um, why is it that we get in this mindset of just kind of settling into whatever age we're at? And I'll just say this because everybody listening has been following my journey since probably 2016. If you've been a lifelong loyal listener of this show, it's been since the beginning is 2016. So you've heard the ups and downs. And really, this is the most mobile, active, thriving, energetic version I've ever been. And of course, I haven't stopped aging. I'm in my 40s now. So what is happening and like where do we start with that? Where do we start with overcoming? And is it actually possible, and which I know the answer is yes, to reverse that aging process?
Well, it's not possible to get younger. You're not going to turn 31 next year, but it is possible to be able to go out and be able to be fitter, to be healthier, to be leaner, to be stronger, to be more mentally clear and focused, to sleep better, to have a better life overall as you get older. And many times we have these built in excuses. And we also have a society today that has been inundated with false and misinformation. We're going on 2 decades since the iPhone. 2008 was an absolute trajectory change in terms of the way that we were gaining information, but also presented with a lot of false information that made us feel okay about not taking care of ourselves, made us feel okay that, hey, if you only get 3 or 4 thousand steps today, that's totally fine. Don't shoot for that 10. Made us feel okay that you will lose your physical form and functionality as you get older. But I sit here every single day coaching athletes, mentoring coaches, working with clients from all walks of life. And I'm seeing that these people are defying all of these things that we've been showing in mainstream media, in the news, and then in the day-to-day talk with just normal people within your own communities. And I think that there is a future of becoming an outlier because that's what we're talking about here today is that a vast majority of people don't have the information, the want, the need, the push to be able to go out and actually protect their own health, be able to be at their best, whether that be mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. They're okay with just deteriorating as they age. But the people that I work with, the people like you, Katie, are the ones that are already probably pretty fit. They're looking at, hey, I want to be able to do what I'm doing now forever. And I know that it's going to be an active process that at the end of the day will be worth it. The investment of your time, energy, and focus needs to end result into something strong and sustainable. But when you can make that type of momentum in your lifestyle, you can have that trajectory change of your own health. And as we've seen with you, there's no looking back once you feel and look and function the way that you are. You can't even imagine a life that isn't like this today.
I can't and I don't want to. Like I'm obsessed with your programming. And I actually do feel a little down on the days that it's not a day I have to go do one of my my training sessions. For real, like it's that good. So imagine that somebody's listening, they're like, "Okay, I'm ready. I want to step into this." You have a very unique approach to training that helps prevent injury, which by the way is one of the reasons that I came to you. You kind
Yeah.
of said, "Well, you're going to have to graduate to be doing barbells," because here I was thinking I was going to be hot stuff and lift heavy barbells, and I got hurt and I was like literally laid up, couldn't move for days, had to have my chiropractor help me. So that was a change. I just like didn't want that. I wanted to look great, feel great, but I want to be able to move every single day. Like you said, I want this to last a lifetime. So tell us what makes your programming so unique from everybody else.
Well, there's an assumption out there that everybody is pain free everyone's able to withstand a lot of stress right away and they're able to go out and just do this forever. And that assumption is totally false because the people that I come into work with are real world people. They're successful in different endeavors in their life, but they're hitting pain plateaus, they're hitting roadblocks, they're hitting fatigue, they're hitting burnout. They are unable to do the things the way that they're doing them now because it's just not going well. Majority of people end up back on the couch, but the ones that have the drive to go forward and actually change some of the things that they're doing, optimize some of the strategies, but then also get support to the point where we can customize and create solutions that are a little less friction, that's going to be big. But going back to what can people start doing now, it's to be able to layer in elements of exercise, elements of training, and then also making sure that you are addressing the real world stresses and problems that you may have in your life. Just giving somebody an optimal program, you can go out and get that on the internet. Optimal for no one. It's a perfect program out there that doesn't exist. The only thing that matters today is that you, your unique self, your unique needs, your schedule, your lifestyle, everything that has to do with your unique individuality in terms of your case gets addressed for. And when you look at it like that, the problem solving strategies are just endless in terms of getting you to where you've never been because we haven't chased down these opportunities yet.
Yeah, it really is so custom. And, let's just talk investment for just a second. I'm going to tease this out because I pay less than $17 per day. Now, I could add up the things I used to spend that kind of money on every day. I drink my own organic coffee at home. It's probably still not cheap. I gave up alcohol completely in 2022, so I'm not missing out on that. I think we choose what we invest in. And I think that is a drop in the bucket for the value that you've given me and the life that I have now because of it. So everything's personalized. When I started working with you, I'm like, look, I got this issue with my low back, upper butt area. It feels super like insecure and unstable. Where my head was at with what I needed to do was opposite of what you taught me. And it took a while to practice what you taught me. And then I had a breakthrough and never have been had an issue since. Like all my lifts are so good now because of what you taught me with bracing and different things like that. But also, I was like, I got shoulder subluxation. Well, because you are a physical therapist, you know how to help me and the things I need to do to prepare to even lift. All my warm up, I'll just tell you right now, my warm up is like one third of the time that I spend because
Yeah.
there is a very specific personalized warm up made for my body, my issues, the ways I need to work on building strength. So, why is it that you even offer that? Because so many trainers would say, here's a program I put together that really could be a one size fits all, but you wanted to do something a little more personalized and be able to work with anybody everywhere. Why take the time to do that?
It's in my background. So I started off in high performance athletics, working with MLB offseason, NFL offseason athletes, prepping people for the Olympics. And at that stake, everything needs to be customized. Everything needs to be personalized. You need to be able to have the touch points to get them to their life's goal, which is to go play in a Super Bowl, play in an all-star game during the summer weekend, be able to go and win a medal for your country. And all of a sudden, the stakes are super high. I took that for 10 years and I got off on it. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, yeah, I was a trainer to all these famous people and all these athletes. And, I got free tickets and all this stuff. But I had this turning point in my life where, my son was born. I wasn't getting the type of deep vocational joy out of working with the athletes. Doesn't mean that I'm not doing great with my athletes now. I still give them respect, but I thought I could do better. I thought I could help people at a deeper level. I thought I could give people back their lives. And that sounds very extreme to say, but that's the type of thought that I have. And that's the type of thought I have every single conversation that I have with new clients. And what does that mean? It means that you give somebody, no matter if they're a 41-year-old mom of two, the same respect, the same amount of detail, the same level of coaching as you'd give somebody that was making $20 million dollars on the field on Sundays. And that was an epiphany. Why should I treat my health and longevity clients any better or any worse than an athlete that's going out and playing on the field or court? And that is the driving factor today because I can adamantly say that today, and my clients like yourself, and I have many of them, we are able to be physical outliers in an unhealthy world. We are able to do things that others aren't able to do. We are able to have energy. We are able to have capacity. We are able to have confidence that can change the trajectory of your entire life. And it's cool taking zero point 0.1 seconds off of somebody's 40-yard dash before the NFL combine. It's cool giving somebody their life back, their confidence back. That makes everything that they're doing better in business, in family, everything. And that becomes addictive. The reason that I do it is because the results are far superior. And I, at this point in time, am only interested in life changing results. And this is the best way to be able to do it for anyone, anywhere. And I think it's a powerful, powerful thing that keeps me pushing forward. And I would say that even with the education system that I run, if I'm going to practice what I preach, I need to be working this with one on one clients as well as teams and everyone else in between. So, being able to have those selective clients, being able to have a one on one personalized touch point, that is continuously evolving, improving the system that I've just found so much success with, but also so much joy in other success, because that's the ultimate success as a coach. I was just listening to Deion Sanders' new show, Coach Prime on Netflix, and he said, success isn't success without a successor. Well, I have a whole client list of successors, and that's what really drives me even today.
Wow, I love that, and I need to watch that Netflix
It got me
documentary.
jacked up. I was like,
Oh, I
yes. Yeah,
bet,
I watch it
yeah.
with my son, and he loves that stuff.
Well, you really do make it special no matter where people live. Like, first off, let me tell everybody, like, this gets so personal. I mean, Dr. John knows about my cycle issues, like all the things of a woman's life that you would normally be like, oh, I don't know. I share it all with him because he looks at the whole picture for your health, longevity, and ultimately helping you live your best life. Nutrition's a piece of that. I've come to you with wild things. Hey, I'm going to do fasting. I'm going to do all these things. What's kind of the mistake? I mean, Americans in general are wildly disinformed on nutrition. What's your take on nutrition? How do you help your clients?
Nutrition's become a religion in Western society today. It's more than just getting fuel to eat. There's so many ideological beliefs behind why we eat and what we eat and the environments and the situations in which we eat or drink. And I think that sometimes we have to have a more scientific based approach, looking at principles that will move and toggle us in the right direction and move that needle to the point where we're seeing and creating momentum, but also being able to have the flexibility with people to be able to say, hey, this is bullshit. You shouldn't do this. But instead, being able to facilitate people's wants and needs. Not saying that, hey, my way is the only way. That doesn't work in nutrition and that doesn't work in training. But specifically to nutrition, it's how do we match something that is going to create results, that is sustainable, and can be implemented right now with your current lifestyle, knowing very well over time we're going to peel back that onion and be able to address and optimize. And nobody's doing that today. It is very ideological. It's this diet, it's that diet, it's water fasting, it's ice cubes, it's carnivore versus vegan. Like, it's wild, all the information out there. No wonder that we're getting fatter and more out of shape every single year. No matter, like, it's unbelievable the amount of systemic health issues that we have that can be drawn back to a combination of physical disuse and overall nutrition. And it doesn't have to be that way, but I do think you have to have support in such a way that can get you some sort of momentum right off the bat.
Yeah, it's so true. And even virtually, each week I send Dr. John my average calories, protein, all the things, weight. That's another thing. Let's talk to women who ride or die by the scale, which I'm going to admit I might be one of them.
The scale is a tough one. The scale would be like 100th on my list of quality indicators of your health or even your physique. And this is going to sound crazy to many people, but many times the physique that you're looking for has nothing to do with your scale weight. I'd rather trade the scale for a bigger mirror to be able to have you looking at yourself and have confidence that what you're doing is moving the needle. Because in reality, we are trying to be strong, we are trying to be fit, we are trying to look our best. but there is a combination. There's more of a holistic plan than just how somebody looks in a single snapshot of a weight or even a single snapshot on a picture. There has to be a more holistic view of this. And if my clients want to be able to track their scale weight, that's okay. But chronically tracking some of these things, you can't see many times what we're doing deeply internally, what we're doing in terms of gaining muscle mass for health and longevity, what we're doing for fat loss. Your scale might be exactly the same, but you just gained 7 or 8 pounds of muscle and you're 4%, 6% less body weight and body fat. And you are a totally different human when you look at yourself in the mirror and when you go out and actually utilize your body as the vehicle for your life. So I think that scale weight has to be always taken with a grain of salt. And it definitely isn't something that we should only be having the focal point on. It's one touch point, it's one data point in a myriad of more important things.
Yeah. Let's touch on muscle because you just brought this up. How important is strength training? Like actually focusing on building muscle and what are we kind of at risk of losing if we don't make this a priority?
If you don't make this priority, you're at risk of losing your muscle. This is called sarcopenia. It's the massive loss of muscle mass as you get older. And the older you get, the harder it is to gain and regain that lost muscle mass. When we look at muscle for both men and specifically women that have higher rates of sarcopenia, muscle is money. Muscle helps us live a better life. It gives us a better health buffering zone. It helps us have a better body composition, more muscle, less fat. It gives us more of almost everything. And the number one way to be able to gain and maintain muscle mass, we're not talking about bodybuilders here, we're talking about functional muscle mass, is to be able to have a progressive strength training plan that you adhere to 2 to 3 days a week at minimum, and be able to have that as the cornerstone of your anti aging plan.
Yeah. I'm always shocked how strong I feel and the way my muscles have changed and grown, even with the use of band work. I do barbells once in a while. The majority of the training you have specifically me doing is barbell and or I'm sorry, dumbbells and band work. And I can't tell you, like, my back has never looked this good and strong. So like I said, your programming is incredible. I've never had anything like it. And when you work with clients virtually, I want everybody to know this, it's on us to send you videos. So when Dr. John gives me a new set or a new routine, a new block of training, I have to go through and look at it. Then I actually execute and I send him videos and he will tell me what's up. What's this is your way of kind of being with somebody without being with somebody. Tell us a bit about that.
Being able to visualize movement, one of the most subjective things in the entire world, is key. Because the number one thing is we need to stay healthy. We need to stay in the game if we're planning on being able to make market results and sustain those results. And being especially early on in the process with new clients, we're looking at rebuilding a movement system that is strong, it's vital, it's resilient. The way that you move, it's your biosignature of your unique body moving totally different than somebody else's, based on your limb length, based on your body size, based on your joint angles. There's a lot of different variables there. But one of the number one things on being able to be confident and competent in the gym, especially strength training with weights, is the ability to have quality form, quality technique, and you having the confidence of getting stronger week by week, month by month. And it's as quick as no Steven Spielberg style videos coming in. It's a 10-second video that comes in off of a tripod, and we're able to just optimize and adjust form and function and make different variants futuristically with programming. But being able to see movement just because you're not there in the real time doesn't mean that we don't get it done. And I think that is one of the biggest potentiators that people have, is that you can see the movement, you can have the subjective feedback, and you can have all the layering of nutrition and lifestyle coaching on top of your fitness plan. And I think those are usually the missing pieces of making a huge change.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't keep saying enough about how your programming really is exceptional. Was there a question that I didn't ask that you wish I would have that would really help beauty industry professionals, owners, just live their best life? Is there something that I forgot to bring up or ask you?
Well, I think an interesting talking point in the data and some of the literature has always been very intriguing to me is the commonality between the beauty industry and the fitness industry. We are both service based professions, we have repeat customers and buyers, and we are selling a service that has to have a high value in order for them to have lifelong value for you as an owner or as a facilitator. And I think the commonality between these two industries is unbelievable. But the same practices work across the spectrums of both of these industries. And I think that the beauty industry does far better than the fitness industry today on showing worth. You look at the average woman in America today is spending 4.5x the amount of money in beauty than they are on their health and fitness. And I look at that as a very intriguing opportunity point. I have many connections across the country today that owners are seeing that, hey, I think fitness is more vital to my beauty business than I thought previously. And these two things are so intertwined. But as you can attest to, Katie, you are your own billboard. You are your best service provider, and you are somebody that somebody is going to make a judgment on the way that you not only handle yourself, not only the way that you're servicing your clients, but also the way that you look and handle your entire being. So I think that there's so many different commonalities there, and a lot of these skills definitely transfer. But I think there's a huge opportunity point for everybody out there today to say, hey, yeah, like it's awesome to be able to invest in beauty, but part of beauty is being able to invest in your fitness and your health because that's what's going to give you the long term strategy.
I love that, Dr. John, because one of the things a lot of industry pros will say is our goal is to help our clients look and feel their best. Like if you look good, you will feel good and you'll show up
Yes.
as the best version of yourself. But let me flip it because now I know that when I feel this freaking good, I have the energy to put into looking good. I am a way more motivated on appearance and just putting myself together and showing up as the best. When I didn't feel good, I didn't have the energy to try to get dressed and do my hair and makeup and put the
Yeah.
effort in. I want to flip it. And I think everybody listening needs to flip it too. So, how do listeners today start this conversation with you? Like, gosh, I need this. Katie, I've seen you. I know that this is real. So, I'm going to talk to Dr. John. How do they talk to you? How do people start that conversation with you?
Anytime you want, you can send me a DM over on Instagram. It's at Dr. John Rusin. A more direct way to get in and get more information about utilizing my services and coaching is by going to drjohnrusincoaching.com. You can click around, you can look at the testimonials, and a lot of people just dominating, just like Katie is. And you can actually go in and apply there. I can get some more qualified information for you, and we'll jump on the call, talk through it, and see how we can dominate together.
You do dominate and you've helped me dominate. I love it. I love being around people like you and you make my life better. So thank you for being here. Before we're completely done, do you have any final words of encouragement for everybody listening today?
I think a large portion of the success of coaches is dictated by the success of their clients. And, just kudos to you for not only your process, but the professionalism and the way that you go about taking your health and wellness seriously. And it's a pleasure of mine to be able to watch you thrive, not just like, hey, you lost fat and you gained muscle and you're looking sexy and awesome. That's great. But the way that you're able to push into your business harder, to be able to be a more present and energetic mom. Like it is so fun to be able to watch your Instagram and gawk at your stories and watch the whole other aspect, the other 23 hours of your day unfold. So, the success of a coach is always dictated by the success of a client. So it's been a process and it's also been so much fun just to see you thriving. And I look forward to more.
I'm going to hold it together, but I really thank you. Like you mean a lot to me. And you may not realize it, but I do tell you and it's true. And I'm very grateful for you, Dr. John. So thank you for being my personal coach in life.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for joining us here week after week. If you love Beyond the Technique and appreciate this platform, please take a moment to leave us a positive review wherever you're listening so that more people like yourself will discover Beyond the Technique, where we're here to change the way that you are supported in your business. Until next time, everybody, have an awesome day and stay strong.